I wanted to show a little tool we give away for free. It's called PlaceAutoSynchronizer. It's a freebie you can download from our website, and what it does is it allows you to have live links. So links in InDesign that automatically update as the source files change, which is actually pretty powerful. So the first thing to do is to go to our website, and the link is here, so you can also find it other ways. Just if you look for the word PlaceAutoSynchronizer and just type it into Google, I'm pretty sure you'll find it. So this is the link. You go to the website. Now it is a freebie, so there is no cost involved. Important is that you need to install two things. So you need to install PlaceAutoSynchronizer itself and also APID Tool Assistant. So APID Tool Assistant will ask you whether you want to license it and activate it, but that is not necessary to use PlaceAutoSynchronizer. So that's only if you really want to use the features of APID Tool Assistant, and they are mostly of interest to third-party developers. So unless you're a scripter or a developer, you don't need to activate APID Tool Assistant. Just let it go through its demo period. Eventually the demo will lapse and things will still continue just fine. So download PlaceAutoSynchronizer, you get a zip file, select the correct APID Tool Assistant for your platform. Very important that you pick the right one. So there's many versions, and you need to pick the right one, and also make sure you copy all the files that are part of the download into your plugins folder. See, so I've got my plugins folder here. So what I do, I tend to not store all these plugins into the plugins folder proper. See, so otherwise that gets kind of messy. So, but instead I just have a folder called Rorohiko, in which I stash all the stuff that we're creating when I'm testing and so on. And in this case, you see I'm on InDesign CC. The APID Tool Assistant is actually composed of two plugins, and that's the way it is. You just need both of them. And then I have a whole lot of our plugins here. The one we're going to look at today is PlaceAutoSynchronizer. So that's my installation. See, like in the Adobe InDesign CC or whatever your version of InDesign is, we're supporting InDesign CS and upwards. You have a plugins folder, and then you might want to create another folder in there. You can name it whichever you want, and then you start storing the APID Tool Assistant there, and then at least the PlaceAutoSynchronizer. So once that's all properly installed, you need to go into InDesign and create a new document. It's very important because APID Tool Assistant only kicks into action after you either open or create a document. So you need to do that. So I've done that already. I have a document open here. And then I can actually see in my API menu, I have the APID Tool Assistant window, that PlaceAutoSynchronizer is definitely loaded, as well as a whole host of other plugins I have installed. So the one that we're interested in today is PlaceAutoSynchronizer. The next thing I'll do is now I'll create some stuff to have automatically update. And you can either use images or RTF files or anything that's linkable to an InDesign document. So in this case, I'm just going to use the text editor in on the Mac. On Windows, you would use Notepad or WordPad or something. So anything that can create an RTF file. So or a text file, but I'm using an RTF, rich text format, because that allows me to also define formatting. Like I can do bolds, I can do font changes and whatever, and they will be retained in that file. Whereas with a plain text file, there is no such thing as a font. Okay, so I just saved this file somewhere, and I've actually saved it onto my desktop. See, like I have a file called the link on my desktop. That's the first step. So that file is there. Now imagine that I have a document and I have many pages, and I want, say, that link to appear on a number of pages all throughout the document. That link might be something else, might be something that's coming from a database or from a big editorial system or whatever. There's all kinds of things. So what I do is I just create a frame. Doesn't even need to be a text frame. And then once I have the frame selected, so just there's the frame, I need to bring up the script palette, the script label palette. So the script label palette is hidden under the window menu. In the utilities, you have something called script label. It's standard in design. Everybody has this, but most people have never noticed it. So you bring up that palette, and through that palette you can assign a piece of text, a string, a name to any page item that is selected. So in this case, I am going to assign a magical word. The word is subscribe. So that's PlaceAutoSynchronizer. That's part of the functionality. If you assign the word subscribe to a label, to a text frame, and as soon as you click away and deselect it, you get a file selection dialog. See, so I'll just now select my file, and see, like, I see the contents of this file in this frame now. So if you look at it, in this case it's not a regular link, it's just a text file that's being observed. And you can also see, if I go back to the script label palette, the name has changed from subscribe to active subscribe, because this is an active subscription. The little label that I see here is a functionality of Frame Reporter, one of our other plugins. So there's more movies about those, but that's not what we're going to treat today. So looking at this thing, so I'll just make a few copies and just imagine that I'm putting these frames all over the document. So they're all in these different spots. So, and now imagine somebody decides, oh, that link is actually wrong. It's it needs dub 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 in front. So how do I go about fixing that up? Well, all I do is I go to my source document, type whatever the link needs to be, and now watch when I hit save. So I'll hit save. Bam. See, the InDesign document in the background has updated, because PlaceAutoSynchronizer is watching that file, and when it sees the file being modified, it actually updates all copies of that placed file. It works the same with images, so you could have a logo, and then each time you update the logo, things just change throughout the document. So that's actually a pretty cool feature. So it's like live links, so links that update without forcing you to go through the update link functionality. And especially when you're doing variable data publishing, so where, for example, some content or some images on a page might be determined by some outside entity, like a database system or whatever, you can just link things together by using PlaceAutoSynchronizer. So it's a freebie, doesn't cost anything, so when Active Page Items asks you to license it, ignore it and things will work fine. So go to our website and have a look, and let us know if you like the tool. Bye bye.